Hi everyone, I hope you're doing well. Welcome to my channel. My name is Star. I'm a 23-year-old mom and a wife. We live in an adult income household. So that time of the month is approaching where our credit card bills due. So today I'm going to be unstuffing some categories so that we can try to get this credit card paid off in full. That is always a goal of ours every single month, pay that credit card in full and avoid interest. And I also was able to get all of my August bills in order. So we'll be unstuffing our bills and taking those back to the bank for the month of August. Overall, me and my husband have goals to save up for our first home down payment. I would love to one day own a business. We want to build our emergency fund, get that fully funded, and I would love to pass down financial freedom to my daughter. And I would also love if you would follow me along on this journey. So first, if you're new here and this is your first video seeing of mine, I'm trying a no spend month for the month of July. Today is July 20th, so that would put us at this circle. And obviously I'm doing horrible with my no spend month. I actually, unfortunately, spent again today, and it was good old faithful Hobby Lobby that got me this time. So I will have to include this in my budget next time I get paid. I think this challenge has saved me like almost $30. Oh, $35. So yeah, at first I think I was taking it kind of seriously, but obviously I'm not taking it too seriously anymore. So this is probably a great reflection on why we will be short on our credit card when I go to unstuff. So flipping a page over, today's the 20th, we'll be unstuffing. So currently our credit card balance, oh, not balances. I didn't mean to put the S on the end there. Ignore that. I'm not editing that out, and I'm not rewriting it. Currently, our credit card balance is at $1,348.11. So I do kind of a digital cash stuffing typically with our credit card. When I get paid, I will move money to our designated savings account for our credit card and try to kind of budget for the next couple weeks of expenses and groceries, gas, household products, like just whatever I think I might spend on. So I do currently have money in the bank for a credit card, and that is $1,095.85. So obviously we're a bit short, and that's why we're doing the unstuffing today. I know for certain there's some categories that I was saving up for in cash and ended up spending those on the credit card, so I'll be pulling out the cash to pay my credit card back in full. So basically, that's how short we are. Negative $254.26 is what we'll be trying to make up for today. Okay, so going over here. Immediately off the bat, I can tell you groceries took more money than it should have. I need to finish up reviewing our credit card statement for after the 15th and see where exactly our money went, because at the moment I couldn't even tell you, but that's why it's such a good idea to keep track. I mean, of course you can just review digitally and see where your money's going, but for me, and I know for a few other people I've watched videos like this, it does help to keep things on paper and just have that quick reference on where your money's going. So first thing I'm going to be unstuffing is my car maintenance envelope. I had to get an oil change this month, and I also got my air filter changed. So 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, $45. Let me write that down. The unfortunate thing is I started saving for car maintenance way later than I should have. It wasn't initially a category that I had, and then I created the envelope, and I realized a little bit after creating the envelope that my oil change was due pretty soon, and unfortunately I didn't get to save the total amount needed for the oil change. I ended up spending in total, I want to say like a little over $100 for that and my air filter getting changed out, and I only saved up $45. So that is probably going to be a decent reason for us being a little short today. Okay, and by the way, I don't have a calculator out because my calculator died and I don't have the batteries to, you know, bring it back to life, recharge it or whatever. So I'm using my laptop off to the side as the calculator. Sorry, this is a little bootlegged, but hopefully next video I'll have my calculator back and maybe I'll put my calculations like on the screen for you guys. But yeah, I'll be doing the math off to the side if you're wondering. Okay, so with the car maintenance, $45 being added to the bunch, that now brings our negative $254 to negative $209. Other category I know we can definitely pull from is baby necessities. I bought diapers as well as a diaper genie and some wipes for my daughter. Once again, the amount of money that I had set aside in cash was not equivalent to what I actually ended up spending, and that's kind of just my fault for not saving as aggressively in this category as I should have. But that's definitely something I'm going to take note of and start putting money more frequently and I guess at higher rates into baby necessities than what I was doing. So 20, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50 is what we have here. I don't like when they're upside down. There's the others. Okay, baby needs. It's gonna be plus 50. Now that brings our balance to negative $159 that we are trying to make up for and get this credit card bill paid. The other thing I want to make note of, and you probably saw the envelope when I was flipping through my blue binder, I'll go ahead and get this back out. There's no actual cash in this renter's insurance envelope because I kind of was doing, I guess, the same method I do with the credit card, like doing digital cash stuffing for this, because I got confused. And as you can see here, I thought renter's insurance was due for us in August. It was due in July and I just wasn't prepared. This was also an envelope that I created kind of later than I should have, and I'm fairly new to cash stuffing in general, so I just started doing this back in April, and I'm thinking that as I continue on with this, I'll have more time to save for things. But yeah, just this year, I guess I started a little late in the game and didn't really have time to save for certain categories, and renter's insurance cost us $113. So I do have this actually in full. So you'll see here, I wrote that there's $50 in the bank. This was from earlier in the month. I set aside $50 with one of my paychecks from earlier in the month, and then I got paid again, and I actually went ahead and set aside the other amount that was needed. So this total is in the bank, 113 plus 113. But it is in my bills savings account, so we'll have to do a digital, just a transfer, and make sure that that is taken care of. Other thing I want to make note of is I didn't even know where they were going to make the charge from. I've been with the same renter's insurance company for a few years now. They sent an email just saying they would go ahead and auto draft the payment out of the account, and this was on me. I should have definitely took a look to see which of my cards they were going to charge from, because I have both a personal bank account and a joint account with my husband, and then we also have like our credit card. I didn't know where this money was going to come from, and I kind of was hoping that it would come from the credit card, but they actually pulled it from my personal bank account, and thank the Lord I had funds in there. I don't typically get my paychecks sent to my personal bank. They are sent to my joint account with my husband. So my personal bank account just houses savings for my daughter, to be honest. And sometimes I'll do some personal spending from there. Like if I'm sent money by my dad, I think his love language is just like gift giving. But instead of buying the actual gifts, he'll just give like me and my brother money. But yeah, renter's insurance ended up coming out of my personal account. So this unfortunately won't count towards the credit card bill, and it won't really help us out in any way, because I instead need to replenish my savings account in my personal bank, because that is the account that I pull from for my daughter's daycare funds. So yeah, kind of unfortunate, but our amount that we owe on the credit card is still at negative $159. So I kind of was thinking about this before beginning the video. I do have money saved in cash in a few of my categories, like I'm just doing savings challenges for. But to be honest, I am not interested in pulling from my savings challenges because I'm not yet finished with them. And this is probably a very stubborn thing to do. But for example, I have, sorry, so many categories. I have money in both future plans, future splurge. I'm currently working on a $500 savings challenge that I have over $140 saved up in. And then a few other categories like some freebies that I've completed. I have a whole other savings challenge binder that's not up here. So I definitely could go ahead and wipe out the remaining $159 that we owe with my cash savings, but it just doesn't feel right to me to pull from savings challenges that aren't done yet. So I don't know. I'm sure some people probably would go ahead and do that, but I just don't want to. Me and my husband do have emergency fund in the bank. It's almost at a month worth of expenses. So yeah, definitely not fully funded, but that is something we're trying to work our way up towards to get to fully funded 6 months of emergency fund. But I hate to break it to you guys. I think my plan will just be to pull the $159 that I need from our emergency fund. So that'll put us at negative $159. Pull from emergency fund. And I know for a fact we overspent on groceries this month. Last week my daughter was sick all week and I did grocery delivery multiple times throughout the week because I didn't want to do my entire grocery order at once and then have to really tip pretty high. But I ended up having to tip a lot anyway because I did like 3 or 4 separate grocery deliveries throughout the week and that adds up quickly. And throughout that week I did not do a full order of groceries. I was just kind of getting little by little what we needed here and there. And so Friday rolled around, end of the week came, my daughter was feeling better, so me and her did a grocery run. But by this point, we are out of so much stuff. I was just trying to grab what I could. Also was running very low on her baby needs. And so I ended up spending like $180 on that trip. And then I was thinking when Monday rolled around, which is today, and Monday is my typical grocery shopping day, I was like, oh, I probably won't need to grab a whole lot of stuff. Guys, I ended up spending another $101 on groceries plus household. I kind of looped those things all in together. But that alone in and of itself is crazy. And on top of that, I had all of my grocery deliveries. So right now, off the top of my head, I don't know what everything totaled to with grocery deliveries, but I just spent so much money on that alone. I took my daughter to the doctor, had to do a copay, had to buy some Motrin because she had a fever. Me and my husband also took a little road trip for her anniversary. I got gas before that road trip and I already need to get gas again. So yeah, we just overspent this month and I'm kind of upset with myself for not keeping track, like, and keeping a closer eye on our spending. But also part of me has been trying to, I guess, work around this or avoid this, but I think it's just time that I increase our grocery budget. So that's that. I'm not going to talk your ears off too much, but I'm going to go ahead and unstuff my bills for the month of August, and we'll be taking this money back to the bank as well. On the bright side, and I'm in the wrong binder. Oh my gosh, I switched around my binder setup last week, and I've just been confused ever since on where everything is located. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So rent, we have $700 in here, and then I have the remainder of our rent. It's just already in the bank. This is the tracker I use each month to make sure I'm keeping up with how much I need for each of my bills categories. So as you can see, the remainder of what I have is in the bank, and this $700 will be going back to the bank. So 100, 200, 300, 20, 40, 60, 80, 400, 20, 40, 60, 80, 500, 20, 40, 60, 80, 600, 20, 40, 60, 80, 700. That was crazy counting I just did. And the bills was sticking together. Okay, so $700 in rent, and then I have the other amount needed in the bank, and that'll complete my August 1st rent payment that is due. So $700 will be going back to the bank for that. Car insurance, same thing. I have some money in cash here. The remaining amount I just kept in the bank. 20, 40, 60 dollars. Subscriptions. As I just said, for the other two categories, I have some in cash. The rest is already in the bank waiting to be paid. $15. Electricity. 20, 40, 50, 60, 70, 75. And then there's the 5. T-Mobile. Oh, did I not write that down? Oops. Why was I about to put 15? Okay. T-Mobile. $10, $15, $20, $25. All right. Lastly, I'm gonna pull daycare, and daycare will go to my personal account where I get my daycare bills auto drafted from on a weekly basis. And currently I have $417 in the bank. We'll be adding to that. It's $150 a week for daycare. Is that crazy or what? It's like $600 a month, and we don't even send her full-time. Childcare is like the second most expensive bill aside from our rent. 20, 30, 35, 40, $45. And this will go to my personal. And if you're wondering why daycare is pulled from my personal account and the rest are pulled from our joint account, that's because when I found out I was pregnant with my daughter, I tried to start saving up like a little nest egg for her in my personal account that I already had. And at that time, me and my husband didn't have a joint account yet. And I was able to save up a pretty good amount of money for her before she was born. And then even this year, I had like close to $2,000 saved up for her. And that was kind of a goal of mine, was just to keep saving up money each year. And then I was going to give that all to her when she was old enough to be responsible with money. And daycare was not something we needed or were paying for initially. And then it kind of came up this year, and we didn't have anywhere else to pull money from to pay for daycare besides that nest egg I had saved up for my daughter. So that's why it's separated from everything else. It wasn't initially a charge we were doing, so it's just being pulled from a savings account. And it hurts my heart every time I make a $150 payment, because I just think about how that money was meant to be a nest egg for my daughter. But that's another goal I have. I want to rebuild a nest egg for her, so that when she does reach young adulthood, she kind of has a cushion and is able to hopefully start off life not super worried about finances and scrambling to get things in order. But yeah, let me add up this total real quick and see how much money we're taking back to the bank in bills. Okay, so in total, we'll be taking $920 back to the bank. Well, not in total. For the bills, we'll be taking $920 back to the bank. I guess I could add the others too. Okay, and then including the other two categories, $95. So that'll be 10, 15, $1,015 going back to the bank. So while I'm here, I know a lot of times when girlies do their little back to the bank videos, they also cash condense. I don't know if I really have any categories I can cash condense outside of what I just unstuffed, because those categories definitely have way more money in them than others. But I do believe for a fact my $500 savings challenge can be condensed just a little tiny bit. So I think I'm going to do that real quick, and then I'm going to swap out some of my categories, because I will be taking bills out and just doing that digitally from here on out. Stuffing bills in cash, I thought it was a good idea, but really it's just more work to me than what I was expecting. So we'll be switching out those bills categories with some other fun categories. And yeah. Okay, here's my $500 savings challenge. I have a total of $140 in here, so we can definitely condense this. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. There we go. Make that one a little bit on the skintier side, honey, because this is going to be a big amount of money. Love that. Okay, and then I'm trying to think. I think my other envelope with savings challenges probably could be condensed as well. So BRB. Okay. I wasn't initially planning on doing a condensing because I get confused kind of easily and I didn't want to embarrass myself on camera, but I'm sure I should probably go ahead and get rid of some of these ones because a lot of these are just entirely ones. Probably won't get rid of all of them though, because for me, you can't really, you know, get ones at the ATMs near me. So I don't want to get rid of all my ones because once I finish these savings challenges, I will probably use the ones in other areas. But maybe just so my envelopes don't get too thick, this is probably smart to just do early on before I have like 20, 30 ones in one envelope. But yeah, you guys, since I realized a big problem with our money spending habits stems from grocery shopping, not only overspending on groceries, but also, I guess, not planning properly for my meals. So what was happening a few times this month was we were eating up all the groceries I bought for the week and then just eating out because we didn't have anything else to eat. And so that is something I really want to get a better hold of. So I ended up going to Hobby Lobby today, actually looking for a planner, not just for meals, but honestly my life in general. I feel very all over the place, very much pulled in a lot of different directions. So yeah, I went in looking for a planner and I had a budget in mind for myself, and the planners just exceeded the budget. So I ended up doing something different. If you've watched my videos before, you probably realize my $500 savings challenge used to be housed in this binder, but I moved it back to that older binder I initially purchased with the challenge because I wanted to use my clear A5 binder for this. And this is what I got from Hobby Lobby, a meal plan, I guess, pack, I don't know. This isn't what I went in there for. Like I said, I went in there for an agenda or like a planner, but the planners were just more money than what I was wanting to spend. And I came across this pack of meal plan sheets. It was like $3. So I purchased this, and I'm gonna try and start actually planning enough meals to get us through the week, planning out my groceries to where I can get everything I need in one trip and not make multiple trips to the store. And then eventually I also do want to purchase more inserts so I can just plan out my like whole day and week in general and just do better overall. Let me make sure this amount is right in here because I was talking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, perfect. That one saved a pretty decent amount of money, so probably smart to get rid of the ones early before it's like too much going on. Should I do this one too? I don't know. I'm kind of nervous to get rid of all my ones because I don't always feel like going into the teller, but in order to get ones around here, you kind of have to go talk to the teller. I could definitely condense more, you guys, but I'm not. Instead, let's just go ahead and swap out. Actually, no, I lied. I am actually going to condense my future plans and future splurge because these both have $10 in them. And I don't have a whole lot of $10 bills. I have a lot of 5s, a lot of 20s, but not a lot of 10s. So I'm going to switch these out while I can. And 10s are very useful for me, at least. I don't know about you guys. I could use me a 10. All right. I don't think anything else needs to be condensed. Ignore these. These will be fixed. So will the white letter envelopes. Just haven't gotten around to printing out inserts for those specific ones yet, but I will eventually do that. Okay, one last time, I'm gonna run through and make sure we're good. July no save challenge, what's in here? Okay, no, I'm not, I probably should unstuff this, but, okay, wait, let me see. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I like the 10s, they're crispy. I'm gonna keep them. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. If my money's short anywhere, we all know I screwed up something with this condensing. But condensing is actually pretty fun. If I wasn't so picky about having ones, I would just condense all my envelopes because I'm kind of enjoying this. No spend. This really needs money added to it. But let me see what I can do. 10, 10. I guess I could just do a 20, but like I said, I want to keep the 10s because I don't really get 10s out of my ATM either. I mean, if I'm really desperate and need very specific denominations, I will go talk to the teller. But really, I don't want to do that. A lot of times I do the ATM. Sometimes I guess I just get a little anxious and like overthink things, and I feel kind of awkward going in there with my cash breakdowns, like the cash breakdown sheet, and telling the teller specifically what I want. Maybe they don't care, maybe they appreciate that, but to me, I just feel like so weird. But I do prefer having the exact breakdown I want as opposed to going to the ATM and just having to kind of get whatever bills they have, which typically are just 5s and 20s in my area. Okay, that's that. Let's get into the fun stuff. So I'm going to be switching out some categories. I'm all over the place with these binders. What am I even switching out? Where am I going? Where am I going? Let me just show you guys first. These are what I got, or what I got. I made these. I'm so funny. This is a new tracker for daycare because I finished the first one and I don't have a laminator. So I kind of just have to keep reprinting these things out until I'm able to get a laminator or maybe purchase one from an Etsy shop. But yeah, this one's done. We have our August 7th bill in order. This challenge, I'm planning on doing $20 per heart, and I believe this will take me to like August 20 something. Let me look at the calendar. 21st is what it should be. Due August 21st. So we should have this done by, hopefully, if not sooner than that. But yeah, this will be my new tracker, $20 per heart. I probably should write that as well. I'm just gonna put that up top and pray that I remember what that means. $20 per heart, not a $20 challenge total. So there's that. And then others, I'm going to take out my bills and I'm going to swap them for holidays. So here is Valentine's Day, my birthday. My birthday's not this year. It'll be coming around early next year though. Oh, this is not a holiday, but winter storm prep. The area I live in, winter gets pretty crazy, specifically in January, and people be bum rushing the stores and buying up all the bread, all the milk, all the eggs, everything. So I feel like it's smarter to always have a stocked pantry and prep for that stuff early, not just for winter storms, but just in general. You know, having a back stock in your pantry is a good idea to me, but this is something I want to plan for early because this year specifically was insane with people buying up everything with that like winter snowstorm that we had back in January. Other thing I came up with is just a buffer category, just to avoid like what happened this month with us being a little short on credit card and having to pull from emergency fund. I thought just making a specific buffer category with the savings challenge would maybe help us out here, and I absolutely love doing savings challenges. So combining the two will make me feel complete. And hopefully we don't have to keep pulling from emergency fund for things that we can just plan better for. And then lastly, I have Thanksgiving. So yeah, these are no longer needed. I'll probably still keep these little tracker things I made just for myself to, I guess, recall what's in the bank, like what exactly all that money's for. Oh, I don't need to do that, but goodbye rent, and we'll replace that with Thanksgiving. Wait, actually, no, we won't. Thanksgiving has an envelope already. I'm all over the place, so sorry. Here it is. I put it in as a flashcard back here. But yeah, my goal for Thanksgiving is to save up $150 by November 13th. We don't typically host Thanksgiving. My mom does that, but I will bake a dessert or whatever. And then I'll do like maybe a smaller sort of Thanksgiving type of thing just for me, my husband, and my daughter. Like just having some good food around here for us, like leading up to the holidays. And yeah, just to also help my mom out as well. $150 goal. That'll stay there. And then what did I just do? The bills buffer. So I'm kind of also upset because I had sized these to fit perfectly in the envelope, and then when I went to print, I forgot to, like, the settings on my printer, it was set to be like scale to fit, so it scaled down my sizes, and that really is annoying because I wanted it to look like how the birthday, or like, yeah, how the small business expenses envelope looks, or like how my daughter's birthday envelope looks, like to where it fills it fully. So that's kind of annoying, but I'm planning on revamping all my binders towards the end of the year going into 2027. So I guess I'll just have to make sure at that time everything prints the way I need it to print. Valentine's Day, my birthday, winter storm prep. And something is missing, I feel like. Oh, no, it's not. I remember what I decided. So T-Mobile will come out, and I am going to just replace that with a savings challenge that I'll do for fun. I have this that I bought from Cute Little Budgets, but I think I might actually do a savings challenge that I created if I can find it. These are some savings challenges I created for the summer. So I'm going to do one of those just because I printed them out. Might as well do something with them. So I'm gonna do this one. Welcome to the cookout. Super exciting. I just love how that looks. Okay, so yeah, that's all for today's video. Hopefully next month we do things a bit better and don't have to pull from emergency fund. Maybe I'll make a video at the beginning of August, like discussing my goals for the month and maybe my new plan budgeting. I plan to post videos every single Tuesday and maybe even more frequently than that if I have extra time, extra money to do so. Thank you so much for watching if you're still here, and I hope you enjoy your day.